everyone, welcome back to Poppin In with Alexa and Molly. As you may have noticed, last week we took a little bit of a sabbatical because one of us is sick. Bonus points if you can guess who it was.
Hey everyone, I'm Molly. I was gonna say, why didn't I get to introduce myself today?
I know, I could see like the offense on your face.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
I was like, I gotta keep it going. Keep the train going.
Wow. Well, Alexa's so kind. She made me some little tea.
Yeah.
I'm not a tea drinker, but if there's someone who's an English girl who's gonna put on the kettle,
yeah,
it's Alexa.
Put the kettle on.
Yep, put the kettle on. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to.
I don't know. I think in Britain they would ask me to leave if I tried to make a tea.
But you know what we are gonna do today is spill some tea.
Yes, absolutely. That was great. I think your voice sounds really hot. I've told you this multiple times.
Oh my gosh.
You sound you didn't watch Friends, but you sound like Phoebe when she gets sick and sings Smelly Cat, and
Okay.
everyone's like, amazing.
So I was never like a huge. Well, I loved Friends as a kid, but the only I've never I haven't gotten into the whole Friends new craze. But the one thing I remember from that show is that song.
Yeah, Smelly Cat.
It was on, my dad included it on he made an album for me, of all my favorite songs.
Wait.
And most of them were Disney songs, but there was just that one Friends song on there.
That is so sweet.
Yeah.
Aw. Shout out to your dad.
He made several, actually there was several. There was part 2. There were multiple.
Oh, I love that. That's so nice.
Shout out David.
Yeah. So what are you popping in with this week?
Okay. I've been waiting to talk about this.
Okay.
This is my current favorite thing in the entire world.
Okay.
Okay, so there's this guy on TikTok. His name is Luke Proita.
Okay.
And I don't know how to explain it, but he does this thing where he breaks out into this song about split pea soup, and he has multiple parts to it.
Okay.
And so, but I'm not kidding, I never recognize him. He tricks me every time.
Okay.
Where he just he's talking. So I'm going to give an example.
My name is Luke Proita, and I'm 24, and my dream of all dreams is to eat soup galore. I'm on the split pea soup bar with the crackers on the side. Split pea, play me like a fiddle. Split it down the middle on the 4th of July. Split pea soup.
It's my favorite thing
You're
in the
mouthing-
entire world.
You are mouthing the words to it.
The 4th of July. I can't sing right now, so I'm
Yeah.
not going to. But I have to show you another one because it got me again. He gets me every time. I never know it's him. And then he somehow transforms. His eyes turn black when he breaks into the split pea soup song. I'm not joking.
That's
Watch.
a sentence that's never been said on this earth.
Just watch.
Have you ever felt lost? Have you ever felt free? Have you ever had soup that was made with split pea? I'm on the split peas.
He was wearing a disguise.
I'm just laughing that it says you reposted it. I'm-
Fourth of July. Today is Valentine's Day, that right? And if I
He had a whole Valentine's.
Wow, I
It's my
love that.
He has 20 parts to it, and he tricks me every time. I never know it's him.
Wow.
And everyone in the comments, for anyone who watches Arrested Development, there's this whole bit in Arrested Development where the mom there's a guy that he's like a spy, not a spy. What am I trying to say? A private detective or something. I forgot, but his name is Gene Parmesan, and he's always dressed up, and they never know it's him until he's it's Gene Parmesan, and the mom's
I forgot about that.
she freaks out.
That's
and
you on TikTok?
No, everyone comments that because he tricks everyone.
That's
it's incredible.
funny. You have pure delight on your face.
It's Luke Proit is his name, and if you look him up, just follow him on TikTok. He is so, he's such a delight. He makes me really happy. Split pea, it's so good.
We should tag him.
It's such a good. Oh, we will.
Well, I love that for you.
Thank
That's
you.
great.
It's brought me a lot of joy during my sick days.
Yeah, I can tell. It's really kept you alive. I'm popping with, I've been waiting to tell you this. So I read Alchemized, which is that book, if you guys are longtime listeners, as in have for the past month, the one that's 1,000 pages. It took me forever to get it in paperback. It was really very difficult. It was one of the best reading experiences I've had in a while. I literally Chris would be talking, I'd be I need you to stop talking to me. And it happened. It was great because it was during the big ice storm. It is a masterpiece of the genre, I think. I just thoroughly enjoyed it, page to page. I finished it, I went back and I read half of it again because it's one of those things where it's you don't know what's going on in the beginning,
Yeah.
and then you piece it all together. And it's just like, God, it's so
Wow.
good. It's already got a movie deal. Like, if you are interested, and it's like a romantasy, but it's not. But it's like, and I will say, huge, it sounds crazy saying, like, it was such a delight to read this book because,
Yeah.
like, there's a lot of trigger warnings, you know? Like, it's about, like, war and all the bad things that can happen in war. So it feels weird to say that, but I literally, like, would close the book every night. I felt, like, almost breathless when I was
What?
done. Like, I just
Should
was
I
like,
read it? Like, do you think I would like it?
well, do you like fantasy type of things?
I love fantasy. I don't love romance. So I don't know.
So I think maybe you could give it a try. But the thing is you have to, so I will say, like, in the beginning, because the thing is the main character wakes up and she doesn't have, like, any memory. So you're, like, kind of just as confused as she is in the beginning. And then you get to part 2 and you're like, wait a second, this is crazy. You can borrow it if you want. I would love to have someone to talk to about this.
Okay.
And it's just like, I love doing, like, I do my little winter romantasy fantasy to, like, get me through the dreariness. It really did. Like, and it's, again, don't let the 1,000-page count, like, deter you. I mean, it kind of, like, especially when you get to a certain point, you're just like, I gotta find out what's happening.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta know. And it's like some fantasy romance, like, Sarah J. Maas, I loved her books. Not a great writer. I would say Iron Flame, like, whatever. The writing was better, but still it's not like whatever. It was, you know,
Yeah.
it's whatever. This, I was like, oh, she's a capital W writer.
Wow.
I was like, the way she constructed it, the amount of, like, stuff about, like, the research and the science behind it and, like, whatever. And don't read about, like, how it got written or whatever, because at first, like, I also was deterred by that. Like, the fact that it started as fan fiction, I was biased and I was like, ugh. It doesn't matter. You don't, like, get any of that in there. Like, it feels like it's its own
What was
full
it
thing.
fan fiction of?
It's like fan fiction of, like, Harry Potter and The Handmaid's Tale,
Oh.
like, together. But you don't really, like, if you really know Harry Potter, maybe you could, like, see the traces of it. But honestly, for the most part, like, she's created her own unique world, her own, like, unique, like, fantasy magic system. The characters feel very unique. Like, they don't feel like they're Harry Potter characters. It was fantastic.
So did she have to, like, rewrite it for the book?
Yeah. So
Okay.
she said it was one of the hardest things she's ever done because she actually, I think this is crazy. She wrote it when she was, like, nursing her children on her phone note, like, her notes app on her phone. So she'd be up in the middle of the night, like, nursing her children, and she would just be like, I don't know, I feel inspired, I guess. So she'd be, like, writing this 1,000-page book, and then she would publish it as fan fiction. And then people, like, loved it. So then once she, like, got picked up by an agent, she had to, like, get rid of anything that was, like, IP traced to anything else. And I mean, it's fantastic. It is a real, like, work of art.
That's incredible.
I loved, like, I can't stop thinking about it. I love it.
I love that for you. Sorry. I actually do love that for you.
Thank you.
Other thing I was going to say is, did you hear Michael B. Jordan is, like, making the Fourth Wing series?
Did I
It's
hear?
so random.
It's very random, but you know what pisses me off? So, okay, hear me out. This is not what pisses me off, but the main character in Fourth Wing is supposed to be a person of color. To clarify,
pisses me off?
That's not what makes me mad. I think great, thumbs up to that. But people keep being like, it's going to be Michael B. Jordan. Like, I read the comments. I don't know why it, like, makes me so mad. Where I'm just like, you guys stupid? And, like, these characters are, like, 23. No offense to him.
I'm surprised that he even, it's like, I'm not surprised it's on his radar because he is into, like,
he
I can
likes
see him being
fantasy.
into that, I guess. But it is, like, a little surprise. Like, it just shocked me a little bit when I saw that.
It surprised me too, but it also doesn't because I think it's a very diverse, like, cast within, like, the book or whatever. And so I think, like, that's cast of characters. Which, again, love that. That's not what makes
That's
me
not why
mad.
we're laughing.
Yes. But I'm also just like, Michael B. Jordan, who is currently up for Best Actor, is not going to star as the main character in the Fourth Wing series. But it's also like...
Watch him star in it now.
I would watch it, but I would just be like, okay. And I actually think, like, it's pretty smart of him because, I mean, that's going to be a big money maker.
Yeah.
And Sarah J. Maas, like, A Court of Thorns and Roses got picked up for a show, like, years and years ago, but then it kept getting passed around, and then it was, like, something happened with the contracts, and basically it's like a sitting duck. Okay. And it's like, well, you're missing out on money.
That sucks.
Yeah. So I think like anyone, like with Alchemized, I mean, it literally got a movie deal, I think it was like an unprecedented amount of the movie deal, like within a few days of publication, like prior to publication or something.
Question. What are your thoughts on things being turned into movies versus like series? Like if it's a series like that, where it's like a big series, would you rather see it as a show, like a limited series, or a movie, like in the theaters?
You know, that's a great question. I think part of it depends on the streaming service. If it's a show.
Let's say if you have between, not Netflix, let's say between HBO or a movie.
For Alchemized, I think Alchemized almost has to be a movie because you have to watch it in its entirety, I think, to really like know, to be like drawn in, because again, like the first part you're like so confused, I think. But then there's things where it's like, I think about like Dune. I was listening to, I forget what it was. So, it was the New York Times book podcast where they were talking about Dune and how it was originally adapted as one film.
Yeah, I think that could have benefited from being a series.
Yeah. Or I'm like, at least like two, the two movies,
right, how
splitting it up. Yeah. I think I actually really love it as a film experience.
Yeah, I think it's just how they do it. But I do miss things being movies. Like I feel like we almost have too many shows now where it's like, what happened to movies?
Yeah.
We used to make movies.
Yeah, we used to make movies. I just like, I don't know. I think it depends on how they do it. And also if they're going to give things a proper budget. Because I feel like sometimes movies are like cutting budgets and then you're not really getting like the quality.
I'm sure something like Fourth Wing or was it Alchemist?
Oh, Alchemized, yeah.
Alchemized. Not The Alchemist. I think those would probably get pretty big budgets. So I think we're good there. But.
Yeah, as they should. So shout out to Michael B. Jordan. Good luck to him. Yeah. As the lead in Fourth Wing. But that's not even what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about another dreamy figure, Dracula.
Okay. I can't wait to discuss this movie.
I had literally I didn't know this movie was coming out until you told me. And
no, we saw the preview for it, didn't we? Like, we were at a movie the other day. I think it was when we saw Send Help.
Oh, probably.
And the preview, I had no idea about this. All of a sudden, I saw the preview. I came home and told Matthew. And Matthew was like, yeah, I've heard of it. I want to see it. I was like, what? I have never, like, I had no idea. Yeah. This is my kind of movie.
It's just, we're in our Gothic era, I think, just as a society. And I've been in this era since like I was 7, so like I've just been waiting for everyone to catch up.
It's your life.
Yeah. And so like I'm really, and I was saying we went to see, it was a rainy day on a Sunday. I was like, nothing better than like a little Transylvanian horror.
And can I just say, so we saw it at AMC. We did drive to a different city to see this movie, and I'm glad we did.
Yeah.
We had perfect seats too. We were directly in front of the screen. It felt like we had box seats.
Yeah.
I love the AMC in Hampton, actually. Shout out. Yes. They have great seats.
And you know what? I am going to also shout out, I told you this, and I'm not going to say who, but I think they've done it better than a lot of theaters where they have the reclining seats, but it's like theater seating. So the seats are not covering you. Also, I mean, for the most part, like when I got up to go get more water, you don't have to, like, everyone doesn't have to shift their feet,
No.
really.
But do you know what I mean by box seats where it's like, like we weren't behind anyone, or no one was behind us. We were in our own little, like, box. Yeah. No one was in front of us either. But it was you, me, and Matthew. It was such a fun little, like, outing. Like, I loved the movie. I'm just going to be honest. Yeah. I loved it.
I was, like, I think there were times where I was confused about like what the tone was, but I was entertained from start to finish. I think you described it perfectly when we walked out and you said that was Silly Goose Dracula.
It was. Matthew did say it actually to me, and then I stole it and said it and didn't give him credit. But I'm giving him credit now.
Oh.
It was Silly Goose because, it was Silly Goose because, like we're watching it and it's not their fault, but Nosferatu did just come out last year.
Yeah.
So it's hard not to be like, oh, this is just like Nosferatu, even though obviously it's Dracula. But it's like, it did feel, it's like, okay, like these are very similar plots, but it was like very lighthearted. Like it was funny. Yeah. And the thing is, it wasn't billed as funny. When I saw that preview, I had no idea there was like comedy. It wasn't a comedy, but there were a lot of comedic elements to it. I just wasn't expecting. And the only thing I can really say to explain that is it was just like such a French movie.
It was. And I have two things to say. So first, I'm going to say, you know what it gave me the vibe of? This is very specific.
Yeah.
But if you are around our age, maybe you'll know this. It's like, okay, it's a rainy afternoon. You're stuck at home. You're like 13, 14 years old. The only thing that's on TNT is a Underworld marathon followed by like Hellboy or something like that. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I've never seen any of those.
But do you know like the vibe that I'm talking about?
Yeah,
where
I think
it's just
so.
like, and then they have those two random people that are like the commentators in between the commercials where they're like, did you know that this movie,
Oh, yeah.
Our Dream Jobs?
Do you mean TNC?
No, TNT.
TCM.
Like where they
Would you
show
They
like
had commentators too?
for like these, this is like a specific like 2005
Got it. Okay.
like vibe.
So I don't think
and then
I
they would be
had
like
that
the X-Men
experience.
would play. You know what I mean? Where it's like there's maybe a blue filter.
Yeah.
There's something a little spooky-ooky.
Yeah.
But it's not scary, but it's also action.
Yeah.
My second thing is at what point did you realize this was a little bit of a silly goose movie?
Oh my gosh. There was like a specific moment where I was like, whoa. And I don't know if it was the gargoyles or if it was, there were some CGI gargoyles in this movie, but it wasn't, again, like all we're going to say, it sounds insane and it kind of was, but like, again, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So wait, I do want to like go into this a little bit.
Okay.
So for people that don't know, this is the movie Dracula. I think it does have like a little name with it.
Oh yeah. Like a
Love a Tale, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's an English language, French, Gothic, romantic fantasy film.
Yes.
It's the story of Dracula. And it was written, directed by Luc Besson, obviously based on Bram Stoker's Dracula. But it stars, okay, here's what I got to say about this.
Okay.
So it stars Caleb Landry Jones as
Dracula.
the titular character.
The prince.
The prince.
My prince.
I have had the biggest crush on this man since like forever.
Interesting.
And
What is he in?
So I had first seen him. This is crazy. He's not even like, I don't know what's wrong with me. Like there's like, sometimes it's just like the like men I'm attracted to, not including Matt. Like I love Matthew. Like, you know what I mean? Like sometimes it's like, what's wrong? Like there's like a little weirdness. I love a little weirdness.
Yeah, I think I've said that about you.
Yeah.
Like you're not like a Glenn Powell. Like hell yeah, you're
Get him
like,
out of here.
Give me a little
I
bit
want
of a
Caleb
freak.
Landry Jones.
Yeah.
This man is a little bit of a freak, but he was in this movie that I loved when I was younger. I was like, it was called The Last Exorcism, and it's like it's a found footage exorcism movie. It's like not, but it's like I love it.
The way you said that though, you're like when I was younger. I'm picturing you're like 5 or something.
I would say I was probably like 14 or something. I don't know. But I saw him, I was like, oh, like,
yeah.
I don't know. And then he's also in the X-Men movies, speaking of.
Oh, yeah.
Or
Who
one
does
of
he play?
One of them. Oh, my gosh. What was it? He was only in First Class. I don't think he was in Days of Future Past. I don't know. And then he's also the brother in Get Out.
Oh, yeah.
He's a phenomenal actor. He's also in 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri.
Okay.
That's like one of my favorite movies. He's so good. But he was in this director's movie Dogman, and that's how he was in this movie. So he like wanted to use him again. He's a phenomenal actor. He is like, I felt like I was like, wow, he's doing an amazing Dracula voice. And he was also, the thing is, I say he's like kind of weird. Like he's like very charming though. Like I was like very attracted to him in this role.
You know what? I was too, even though there were certain points where I was like, and I mean this, I don't mean this mean, but there were certain points, and maybe it was because of like some of the makeup or whatever, I was like, is he ugly? And then I was like, but I would. You know, I would. And I think
I think he's interesting looking, but he was very hot in this movie.
He was and I think it's also because, so this is like romantic Dracula. And I think that's also why I really enjoyed it.
And we realized, we were talking about it after. I'll be honest, after the movie, I was not sure how you or Matthew were going to go. Like I expected to walk out of that like fighting for this, like fighting for my life with this movie. And you both came out and you were like, I liked that. And I was like, really? Like, I did not think Matthew was going to like it. And you guys were, like, we were all agreeing that it was, like, because, again, so there was very much, like, a comedic element to it. There were parts, I think also to answer your question, when I realized it was, like, funny, was when, What's-His-Face comes to visit him at the castle.
Okay, same.
And he's, like, making, like, there were a lot of jokes in that scene. And I was like, oh.
It wasn't even the jokes. When Jonathan Harker is, like, sitting down, and just it's, like, the way the actor is talking, I was like, this is a different Jonathan Harker than I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, silly goose John.
And how Dracula looked at that point, because he's, like,
Oh, ridiculous.
He looked insane. He didn't look like
that
himself.
was my least favorite part of like seeing him like
and
that.
we both had the thought where we were like, please turn back to like your old self.
Yes.
And he does. He goes back to, he looks even hotter than he did in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, we're good.
I don't know. I kind of loved him in the beginning, covered in blood and
and his knight's, I keep trying to say knight's outfit.
Yeah.
Outfit.
Yeah.
Armor. I don't know. I couldn't think of the word.
Oh, yeah.
Armor. But I was going to say something else, which is that we were walking out. We were just like, it was very like, it was just like a silly goose we were saying like he was kind of nice actually. He wasn't like a terrible person.
Like he went, so basically.
Well, he was biting women's necks. I guess that wasn't good, but.
I mean, but he didn't for like over a century because he was just like, I don't care anymore. And then like the townspeople who helped him, he was like, here's some money for your services. I'll see you. Have a good life.
And so, like, for context, the whole thing is that he has this wife in the beginning who he's like in love with. Her name was Mina.
No, her
Elizabeth.
name was Elizabeth.
Yeah. Beautiful name. I love it.
Yeah.
And by the way, she is so her name I want to say it's Zoe Blue. I think that's her. It is. So she's the daughter of Rosanna Arquette. Do you know who that is?
Is it related to Patricia?
Yeah, it's Patricia's sister.
Crazy. They look nothing alike.
She and Patricia don't, but she looks like her mom. So
interesting.
Yeah. Rosanna Arquette, not to bring the mood down, but she's the one she got like blacklisted from Hollywood because of Harvey Weinstein. And, but she's like a really good actress, and she's part of the Arquette family. But anyway, that's her daughter. I thought she was really good. She's beautiful.
Yeah.
But anyway, the whole thing is that he's like trying to. So she dies. Spoiler, it's in the beginning. But she dies. He's trying to like bring her back. And
he's devastated. He's like, if he literally,
because he like loves her, and that's what's beautiful is like they had such good chemistry.
Yeah,
they had like this they were in love with each other, and he was like, I want to die without her, but he gets damned, which we didn't really see
how he became a vampire. So he's not a vampire at first, and then how he became a vampire was very confusing to me. He's
turned into a vampire. And you turned to me several times during the movie and were like, wait, I'm confused. And I was like, I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know. Yeah. I think I tried to give you explanations and I was like, I'm just making this up.
Yeah.
And then Christoph Waltz is in it and he's a priest. And he reminds me, if you've seen he reminds me of Willem Dafoe's character in Nosferatu, where he's kind of like, he knows what's going on and he's trying to, like, he had that same energy.
Yeah, but he also was, like, very chill about it.
Yeah.
He was just
because he's like, I know that this is Dracula. Like, we got to do that. Like, we got to figure this out.
He's like, vampires, you heard of them?
Yeah. And it was just a very, like, charming movie.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even explain, but it was wild. There were these gargoyles.
Okay, yeah.
And they were ridiculous looking.
Also, I was going to say, I think it's charming. I think the love story is really what makes it, because he, like, waits, so Dracula becomes a vampire somehow.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't, like, finish the synopsis.
Yeah, we don't know exactly how, but anyway, he does.
I think he gets damned because he's mad at God because she, she dies.
Yeah.
And so I think somehow that's how it happens.
Yeah. So basically then he's like a vampire and he thinks that he knows that some souls that are really good get like reincarnated basically, which again was kind of confusing. So he knows that like Elisabetta will get reincarnated somewhere at some point in time. So he spends the next 400 years like scouring the earth, but really just like
going to balls.
Yeah, like Europe and like whatever.
Yeah, it seemed to only be in France.
The weirdest part was there's this long scene of him getting this special perfume made that is what kind of like gives him his like powers.
Yes.
Like
it's like so it attracts women to him. So that way his whole thing was like, well, I don't want to have to go out and seek out every single woman. He's like, what am I going to do? Knock on their doors? So he gets this perfume made that's just like irresistible. It's like this love spell, and all the women flock to him, and that way he's able to like weed out the women
right, which is like also confusing to me because that's what I thought it was at first, but then there's also scenes where it's like he's using it and he's like compulsing, being like he's like, getting people to dance and stuff like that. So it's like he also somehow is controlling them through it. I don't understand.
I wonder if the dance scene was like sort of a just like it's kind of like, in a musical where it's like the dance song and dance is representing what's happening. So I think it's just the dance, and he's just going to the different. That was very funny. I was watching that in awe because I was just like, wait, what?
Yeah,
it was so wild. It was so interesting.
I
don't
know.
And then, but I have to say, so there was this scene later where. Because the whole thing, he finally... okay, I guess we're just getting into spoilers. But he finally figures out... Because I just have to tell this story.
It's not really a spoiler because it is Dracula.
It is Dracula.
It is, like, loosely Dracula.
Sorry. But he's talking to... when Jonathan Harker comes to his house, and his home, and, you know, he's the realtor or whatever. And he's like... Or no, he's not a realtor. He's like a lawyer. And he's... But he is talking about his wife, and he's like, oh, can I see a photo of her? And you know, most people would know what's about to happen. This woman in our theater, God bless her, she had no idea what was about to happen. And so they show the photo, and the photo is Elizabetta. She's now like
Mina,
his wife. Yeah, this man's wife. And it's like, he's shocked because he doesn't know. He hasn't read Dracula, so Dracula's shocked.
Yeah. But
you'd think that most people in the audience know this is going to happen. This woman had no idea in our audience. She goes... No, no,
so
and like
funny.
out loud, and the three of us were like really laughing. I could not stop laughing for 15 minutes after that. I was like sobbing.
I actually didn't hear her do that. I was like, what is she laughing at so hard?
Oh, really? Because you turned to me when she did it and laughed.
Well, no, I said a joke, and then I thought you were laughing at my joke.
What was your joke?
I don't even remember.
You probably really was.
I was like, I'm not laughing at it that hard.
Because then Matthew made kind of like joked and was like, he did like a voice where he was like, oh my God, and like did that. And it really, or he was like, oh God. Yeah. And like, it just made me, and then all the things that had happened in the movie so far that I was so like, just kind of flabbergasted by it in a good way.
Yeah.
But like the dancing scene, that had been boiling up, and all of a sudden I just started laughing so hard. Like, I could not stop sobbing for like 15 minutes.
I was like, wow,
it was
really funny.
So funny. And I don't even know. It was like one of those things, like I literally don't know what came over me. I couldn't stop. But that is to say, as like silly goofy as this movie was, I really enjoyed it.
I did, because you're kind of like curious, like how are him and Mina gonna get together? Like you're excited for them. At least for me, like the romance part was like really like I was like how like I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited. He's waited 400 years. I fucking wish.
And like he acted. You know, I love when it matches. Like he acted the way like I wanted him to.
Yes,
act.
like
you know
his
what I mean?
like the moment
he was
like
obsessed with her.
The moment he saw her, and it was just like this is his whole world. Like this is. I was like,
no one
honestly,
else is in the room. Like yes,
I'd be like, I'm Mina.
Yeah,
hi. Take me.
Yeah,
I was
it's like you know when the ugly stepsisters cut off their foot so their foot fits into the glass slipper. Like I'd be like,
yeah, I'd be like, take me right
now. But so. One scene that did make me laugh, they go through, it was also kind of hot, but he's like following.
Oh yeah.
So he has this like a little like, she's like a wing woman basically. He turns into, she looked exactly like Dua Lipa, this
I'm
actress.
not kidding. There were moments where I was about to Google like, is Dua Lipa in Dracula? Like she looked so much like her.
She looked so much like her, this actress. So anyway, she's like, she has been like tasked to like become friends with this girl, with Elizabetta / Mina, and she's taking her around to like this carnival, also a vibe,
fun. It's like because they're at the like turn of the century, the Belle Epoque or whatever in France.
Paris, and they're walking around, and he's following them. Like, he's with them. But he's just kind of, he's like, he reminded me of, like, you know, when you're at, I wanted to turn to you and be like, you know, when you're at, like, Busch Gardens in high school, and there's, just, like, that guy that's just, like, hanging out with you and your friend, and just, like, doesn't leave. Like, that's how it felt.
Yeah.
But it was hot. But they were clearly, like, it was very funny to me. But anyway, it was very European. That's the only way I can describe it.
And I will say, like, there's a lot of things in the plot that don't really, like, make sense or match up, and it doesn't matter.
It doesn't
matter. Like, you're just kind of like, it's a vibe. I'm not going to question this. And there's also, like, an interesting, like, religious undertone where it's like, you choose, like, the savior of God or whatever.
Yeah.
And that was very interesting.
And so the interesting thing about the movie is that it's gotten kind of like mixed critical reviews. Like I think it has like a 50 or 60% on Rotten Tomatoes, something like that, around that. And at first I was like, interesting, because it looks good. Like I feel like people, like some things that I had seen like loved it, but then like the reviews were weird. So I was like, but coming out of that movie, I can see why it has mixed reviews. Like, I can
Yeah.
totally see that. But it apparently has very positive reviews from audiences. So
Yeah.
I can see it. But yeah, I just, like, I can't recommend it enough. I really enjoyed it. I don't know if it's for everyone, but I loved it.
I would definitely say I would have been fine streaming it. I will say that. But I enjoyed it, like, overall. Like, I think if you're not... Like, if you're on the fence about it.
Yeah. I wouldn't, like, tell everyone go flock to the theaters to see it. But check it out if you don't want to.
It was, like, it's such a quirky, interesting little Dracula. So...
I had a good time.
Yeah, I enjoyed myself.
But that's Dracula.
Yeah, that's Dracula, this specific Dracula.
Yeah. We're not talking about all the Dracula adaptations.
Yeah, the Draculae. But so we want to get into some Oscars movies that we've been watching the past few days. So just kind of like a rundown. Honestly, we're really hitting our Oscars stride. I think both of us just have like one movie to watch?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, for Best Picture, that is. And some of the shorts are on Netflix and stuff too. I'm gonna watch some of them.
I know. And also, I didn't realize The Perfect Neighbor is nominated for Best Documentary.
Oh, really? I didn't realize
I had no
that.
idea, but I would totally agree.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, I would highly recommend it. It was a very powerful documentary.
Wait, did you end up watching it? I can't remember.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I watched it. So I think you talked about it on the podcast, and I ended up watching it after. But it really moved me, and it's a hard watch, but it is like... It's interesting. What makes it so good is that they use all body cam footage.
Yeah.
So I was pleased to see that it was nominated.
It is. I was actually, there's one specific scene, I'm sure you know which one I'm thinking of, that for some reason, I randomly popped in my head the other day, and I was just thinking about, like, that was so good and so difficult to watch. But, so, in terms of, like, some of these are Best Picture, some of these have, like, Best Actor, Actress nominations. So, let's get into, first of all, sentimental value.
Yeah, so you said... that this was your favorite Oscar movie.
I'm a little bit obsessed with it. I wish we hadn't rented it. Like, if we had bought it, I've already watched it.
I can't wait for it to come onto streaming because I want to watch it again. It was very good.
And we were talking about this downstairs. I love all my life. Like, again, my family would always be like, this is an Alexa movie or whatever. Yeah. And I love that both you and Chris separately were like, because you saw it before me and you're like, you're going to like this movie.
I was like, this movie's about generational trauma. Like, Alexa's going to like it.
Yes. And Chris, like, we watched the trailer and, like, Chris was like, I know you're going to like this movie.
Yeah.
And I did. Immediately, like, from the second I saw the house, the setting of this movie, I was like, I'm in. I don't...
Oh, yeah, the house, yeah.
I could watch this without subtitles. And
you know
I would
who
still
else's
love
house I really liked was he goes to that old filmmaker's house.
Oh,
or the
yeah.
old, I think he's a cinematographer. He's the one who wants him to, like, work on the movie, but he realizes he's, like, maybe too old. He goes to his house. And I was like, I love his house.
Yeah.
He's, like, sitting by his pool. But, should we get into it a little bit?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Well, sentimental value is, so it's a Norwegian film. It is mostly in subtitles. There's a little bit of English.
Yeah.
So it's a Norwegian film about two sisters, Nora and Agnes, and they're reuniting with their father, who's kind of estranged from them, played by Stellan Skarsgård. Mm-hmm. And he is a filmmaker. He's making this movie now about that's kind of like based on his mother's life.
Yeah.
And sort of the, trauma there. And so the whole thing is his daughter Nora is an actress, and he wants Nora to play the mother in the movie. And Nora doesn't want to. Mm-hmm. And so he ends up hiring this, like, famous Hollywood actress who is played by Elle Fanning. He hires her to play her, but she sort of struggles to, like, understand the, complexities of the character and, like, connect to the character.
Right.
And so it's really, the movie's about, like, the complex family dynamics in this family. And honestly, so it's a very, like, quiet movie, but it really snuck up on me how emotional it was.
Yes, like, I don't even remember which scenes, like, I think the relationship between the sisters is really beautiful. There's, like, one scene where Agnes goes up to Nora, they're at her apartment, and she's like, he wrote this for you, and she explains why, and it just, like, really, like...
Well, because, and this was the scene that got me, was her... So Agnes is, like, an academic historian, so she's not an actress. This is the other sister. But she looks into sort of the truth of what happened to her grandmother, Stellan Skarsgård's mother. And so the whole thing is that her mother was, like, tortured during World War II. The grandmother was tortured during World War II. And, she committed suicide. And so she realizes like that's what like the movie kind of appears to be about, and that's who Elle Fanning's character is. And so that's when she is like, you know, you really need to play this to her sister. But it like her acting in that scene like really moved me for someone. She's reading about it, she's crying, and it just felt really real. It just really moved me.
I knew that I was gonna love this movie because it opens up with this scene where it's like a writing project from the girl, like Nora, when she's a child, and she talks about the house that they live in and basically about like the way it's kind of like changed and grown and whatever, and it's like sometimes it'll be empty, and she's like, do you think like the house likes to be full, or do you think it likes to be empty? And I'm not kidding, I was like, I remember being a kid and having that same thought. And I was like, this is me, this is gonna be a movie for me, this is an Alexa film. And I think it's like such like, first of all, the house is beautiful. Like I was like, I'll move in a second. Yeah. But also there's like this big crack that's going through the house that is such like a beautifully understated but also like blatant example of like a broken home. Like both literally and figuratively. And I think it's interesting because like they show these different generations like in this house. And I feel like it's interesting because I think you get a lot more of that, like, maybe in Europe than you do, like, in America. Like, oftentimes you're not living in the house that your dad grew up in. Yeah. But I do think maybe that happens more, like, in Europe because, you know, there's less land and, like, you're not building as much. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't know.
But I was like, I think that is such a beautiful way to, like, start this movie because you're looking at these different generations. You're also looking at the way, like, the house affected them. They affected the house. You're also, like, seeing like the different generations like in the house, and it was so beautiful. Yeah, like just right from the get-go.
I forgot that's how it started. I was thinking you were gonna say the sister is doing like a play in the beginning, and that scene gave me so much anxiety right from the start.
Really, it really made me laugh.
Really, it's like the whole thing is like she's having like basically a panic attack before she goes out on stage, and she's like her costume's too she's trying to get the costume off, and she's just like panicking. And it gave me so much anxiety watching it. I was like, oh my God.
Well, because I think her thing is like stage fright. So I don't even think it was like really too tight. I think she was just like, ah.
Well, no, I meant like she couldn't breathe. Yeah. Like, so she was trying to get the dress off.
And then she comes out and like
But she rips the dress off, and then they have to try to get it back on her before the play starts. Like, it's so.
I'm like, that would be me as an actress. Like, I would just be like, okay, whoops. I think. Yeah. Stellan Skarsgård gives a really beautiful performance.
Oh, yeah, he was very
as, like, an estranged father who, like, loves his art and loves his work. And he's very funny because he's, like, his daughter is, like, actually, like, well-renowned, like, play actor. Yeah. He's like, I don't really like to see plays. He's a famous, like, he writes and directs films. Yeah. And there was something about, like, a TV show, too, and he was like, I don't like TV shows. And I was just, it made me laugh where he's just, like, film only.
Which actually Stellan Skarsgård is like that in real. I once saw a quote that he doesn't like he doesn't like television show. He would never be in a television show, but he did just star in Andor of all things. Like, no, I mean people love Andor, but it is like, you know, a good show. But he like I just thought it was funny that was like the one exception he made because he was like, this is amazing.
This is also the only movie where I haven't seen him, like, I guess I've really only seen him in Dune where he's playing that, like, massive floating blob. And in this movie I was like, okay, I can see the Alexander in him.
He's really, I was telling you, I was like, this is a fine older man.
Yeah, which
I really, I feel like I only see him in sort of like, I mean, he's obviously in a lot of things, but the things that I really know him from, he's wearing, like, he has, like, you know, prosthetics on or stuff. Yeah. So it's like I sometimes forget what he looks like, and he definitely does look like his sons for sure.
But I mean, I just think, and also the actress who played Nora really looked like Dakota Johnson. I had a thought in my head. I was like, if she ever is curious, like, what would bangs look like on me? All she has to do is look at Dakota Johnson, you know?
Yeah, she did look like her.
And I really recommend this movie. Like, I really loved it.
So I'm curious because we kind of talked about this a little bit, I think. But so all of the actors from the movie are nominated. Like, all the main actors are nominated for Oscars. And I totally agree with, like, Stellan Skarsgård and the two sisters. Definitely, I think they should be nominated. But I think we all walked away from this movie kind of being like, I'm surprised Elle Fanning was nominated.
I think one of the first things I did, I texted you and I said, oh my God, I loved it. And then I said, but you're right, I don't know why she was nominated.
And it's funny because I tried to see if anyone else felt that way, and no one else thinks that. And
all the critics funny. Like love her in it. And the thing is that she's not bad in it.
She's not bad, but I almost felt like she wasn't the right fit. Like, I almost felt like she was too young.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that was, because she's not. She's in her late 20s, I think. But
yeah.
I felt, and the thing is, and I think this is what everyone was saying too, is like, it is a hard role to play. She's basically playing a role where the character doesn't understand her character.
Yeah.
Like, so that's like she's not the right actress for her role.
Right.
And like, that is a hard role to play. But I felt like I could tell she was acting. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
I was
surprised. I just was like, are we nominating her because she's Elle Fanning?
I think, like, in terms of other people who could have been nominated for Best Supporting Actress, I was like, I think there were others who maybe deserved this more. And again, it's not like she didn't do a bad job to me. It just was like, what, like, she is not, when I think of that movie, I'm not thinking about her at all.
No, I think she brought like a level of like quiet, like warmth to it. But I like, she, like you said, she wasn't bad. I just didn't think she was Oscar worthy.
Yeah.
But that, yeah.
But loved that.
It was a great movie though.
Yeah. So one that we were kind of divided on, If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You.
Were we divided?
No, why did I say it like that? One that we had a different perspective on.
Yeah.
So If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. So it stars Rose Byrne primarily, and she is a mother. She's not a single mother. She does have a husband who I thought was in the military. He actually is a cruise line captain.
Yeah.
So he's away a lot. She's taking care of a child who has some sort of like eating disorder. So she has like a feeding tube type thing.
Yeah, like it's a disease. It's like a rare disease.
Yeah, yeah. And so she's dealing with that. She also, like, their apartment like floods and they have to go live in this motel, and you can just tell like how stressed she is the whole time. And I was gonna say, so this movie is basically just like, I think we've been having this kind of period recently of like almost like motherhood trauma movies.
Yeah.
And
like the stress and the emotion, like the like overwhelming stress of motherhood, and it's kind of represented in like trippy ways, sort of.
Yes. And also like kind of the unfair like burdens, like, so you see throughout this movie the portrayal of like men is very interesting. So like her husband is gone most of the time, and he'll always like he'll be on the phone, you don't really see him, and he'll kind of chastise her. He'll be like, oh, like, why didn't you do this or this? Meanwhile, like, her daughter is screaming about wanting a hamster that is then going to like bite them and die, you know? And
the hamster scene did really
get me. Yeah. But or you see she has this client who is clearly dealing, so she's a therapist, her client's clearly dealing with like postpartum depression, and in one session she just like leaves the baby with Rose Byrne's character, and she calls the dad, and the dad is like, what do you mean? She was like, come pick up your baby. And he's like, how about this? I'll meet you at. And she was like, how about this? Come get your baby.
Yeah.
Like, and he was just like really like blaming his wife. Like, he sounded awful. Even her male therapist, who's played by Conan O'Brien, their relationship was very confusing to me, because it's like, he is a therapist in her therapy, whatever.
Like she sees him as her, like, he's her therapist.
Yes. Yeah. But he also works with her in the same practice. And he is like both a dick to her, but then there's also like some moments where he's like kind of nice, but not really.
Yeah, he was the most likable character to me, actually.
Yeah.
Other than her. I mean,
Yeah. A$AP Rocky is in it as her like motel like neighbor.
Yeah.
Which he had like an interesting role where he almost felt like a hallucination at certain points.
Yeah. I thought his acting actually was pretty good.
It was. I'm curious. I want to see him in different roles. So I've seen him in this, and I've seen him in oh my god, the Denzel movie that came.
Was it Highest to Lowest?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I really liked him in both of those, but I'd like to see him play like something a little bit more out of his range, you know?
Okay, yeah.
Like, just something different. But I really love him as, like, I really have been rewatching this Jimmy Fallon interview where he talks about how much he loves Rihanna. And I don't know why, but I'm like, I love him. Also, fine. He is so attractive. Just what a... Anyways.
Yeah.
So he's in this. And I think, like, there are certain things I think this movie does. I think what is tough about this movie is it is a stressful movie to watch. Like, you are in the stress. It's
not pleasurable.
No, this is not for entertainment. This is for you to feel this woman's stress. And you do. Like, and I think what they made an interesting choice, because throughout the film, you can't see her daughter's face. And her daughter's maybe like, what, 7? I'm really bad at knowing this.
I would say she's between 5 and 7, yeah.
Yeah, somewhere like that. But you don't see her face throughout it. And I think that's an interesting decision because I think, or at least for me as the viewer, you're like listening to this child like whine and scream and like...
She's annoying as fuck. Like, she's just this very annoying kid.
Yes, like more so than I think any other kid I've ever encountered. And I think because you can't see her, you just also feel this almost like lack of maternal care towards this character that like Rose Byrne's character also seems to feel, where she even has this moment where she's like, I don't know if I was supposed to be a mother. And it's like, I think...
Yeah, well, the director said that she purposefully did not show her face. You don't see her face the whole movie until the very end, but she purposefully did not show her face so that way people wouldn't sympathize with her.
Right, exactly. Because as soon as I saw her face, I was like, oh, she's kind of cute.
She's cute, yeah. Yeah. But she's so annoying throughout the whole movie.
And the director, I forget her name, but the director did say, like, it's based on her own experience. She had a child who, like, had... an illness, like a rare illness that she had to take care of. But now, I mean, her daughter's like 14 or 15. But there's like all this stuff that I think is interesting where you can feel all this pressure and like blame on the mom. Like even there's this whole thing where it's like her daughter has to get to a certain weight in order to remove her, like the tube her feeding tube. And the way the doctor talks to the mom about it, I'm just like, what an asshole doctor. Like, she keeps blaming the mom, and the mom, like, and Rose Byrne is like, okay, I'm sorry, like, I'm trying. Like, she isn't keeping it down. I don't really know what I'm supposed to do. Like, it's just me. Our apartment is flooded. I am living in a hotel or a motel. My husband isn't here. And also someone left a baby in my office today.
Yeah, her whole thing, it really like it was very emotional where she finally is just like, I just want someone to tell me what to do. Yeah. Like she just wants like someone for once to like make just tell her what to do to like guide her. Yeah. And it's her husband's so annoying because at the very end, or, you know, at one point he finally comes back, he appears, and he is like, they're fixing the ceiling and her husband's just like, yeah, you just got to know how to talk to them. Like, I figured it out. Like, I fixed it or whatever. And
which,
it's like,
I texted you. I was like, typical man to be like, you just have to know how to talk to him. It's like, yeah, because you're a man. I'm sure her talking to a team of male construction workers wasn't really going anywhere. And now you're also a man talking to a man, so they're going to, like, listen to you more. And I just, like, you really feel... I think Rose Byrne, like, I saw why she got nominated. Like, this film is not one that I will rewatch. No. But I think, like, so I would say, like, this, like, mom trauma type of movie, it's, like, Night Bitch, Die My Love, and this. I think this has been my favorite so far. Yeah. I think Night Bitch I would have liked without the wolf nipples. That was where I kind of like drew the line a little bit. And we all know I hated Die My Love. That was just the most unlikable character I've ever felt in my life. Whereas, like, I feel like Rose Byrne's character, she's not unlikable, but she feels more real. She feels like a real person.
Yeah, the only time where I got, like, frustrated with her was when she kept, like, leaving her daughter to go, like, smoke and drink. And it's like, okay, I understand but, like, you just can't do that. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe, like, don't leave your, like, sickly daughter by yourself. Right. But other than that, I felt like it some points felt like everything was almost, like, comically, like the doctor being, you know, it felt sort of like watching Curb Your Enthusiasm, and it's like, okay, is it Larry David's fault, or is it everyone else just being, like, almost comically horrible, you know?
And it also, like, really... it just, like, the whole movie gave me the phrase of, like, when it rains, it pours. Yeah. Like, it was just, like, one bad thing, one battle after another. Yeah. Like, but, so, I can see why she was nominated, but it is, like, I don't know. It's an interesting film.
It was interesting. I would suggest, like, to watch it. I mean, the thing that really stands out of all of it is Rose Byrne's acting. And I'm really glad that she's because the thing is, Rose Byrne is an amazing actress, and I feel like she's mostly known for comedies, but the first time I saw her was in, I think it was in Bridesmaids, and her acting in that is, like, sort of underrated because, you know, I feel like you watch that movie and you kind of mostly look at, like, Melissa McCarthy or Kristen Wiig, but, like, her acting in that is so good. It's so subtle. Like, she's such a subtle mean girl. Like, it's so funny. It's so good, but it's like very subtle. And I'm just glad that she's being recognized for her acting now because she's so good. And yeah, she was very good in this. But,
yeah. And I was like reading this thing I think is interesting is you're like seeing all these like mom movies come out because now we're in a, I mean, still there's not a lot of female directors and writers, but there's more than ever before. Yeah. So now you're getting like female stories, whereas like you think of Sentimental Value and that's really like a father-daughter story. And I'll be honest, you see a lot of those and then you realize it's like, oh, because a lot of directors are fathers with daughters. Like even the director of Sentimental Value was basing it off of like his relationship with his children, you know, which
is great. I love that too. Like I love art because it's just I love to see all the different experiences.
Yeah, and I'm glad like we're like women now hopefully have a little bit more of a platform to talk about what they're going through. Yeah. And I think that's important. Unless It's Die, My Love. I hated that movie so much.
We know.
Yeah.
We know.
But
I want.
Speaking of art,
I think you watched this movie too. But I watched the movie Blue Moon recently, and you watched it too. But that I actually really liked this movie. It's also a movie I wouldn't watch again, but I don't think it's meant to be watched. It's not like a rewatch type movie, but it is. So Ethan Hawke is nominated for Best Actor for it, and I'm gonna be honest. After I saw it, I was like, I know you probably don't. Phenomenal. You don't. Okay, I was gonna say I don't know if you agree, but I was like, I sort of think he should win. I don't think he will, but I was like, I think so. But basically, it's he plays Hart of like Rodgers and Hart.
Is that the same as Rodgers and Hammerstein?
So Hammerstein was the other composer in the movie who he ends up. So it was Rodgers and Hart originally. Like they were a like duo.
Yeah. Okay.
And so, they did like all the like golden era, like all those musical. I think they did, or did Rodgers and Hammerstein do Cinderella? But they did, like, they were a duo, but then, like, Hart, you're learning about, like, Hart's story. So Ethan Hawke plays Hart. And he kind of, he's, like, I think he's an alcoholic, and he kind of has a lot of issues. And so he and Rodgers kind of split up. And Rodgers is played by Andrew Scott. Yeah. And now Rodgers is with Hammerstein, and they just did Oklahoma. So the movie takes place right after, like, the opening of Oklahoma. And it's interesting because, so Hart goes to see it, even though he's no longer working with Rodgers. And is it Roger or Rodgers?
I think it's Rodgers.
Rodgers, yeah, it's Richard Rodgers. So the movie basically takes place all in this one bar, which I didn't realize. It's literally like you're watching a play. It's so interesting.
Yeah.
But basically he's just kind of lamenting on his life and talking about like his time working with Rodgers. And he's sort of bitter because now Rodgers is working with Hammerstein, but it's just because he couldn't get it together. Yeah. Like Rodgers wants to work with him again, but he's just like, you got to get your life together.
And you can tell there's a lot of love between the two friends and also a lot of frustration.
A lot of frustration, like especially on Rodgers' part because he's just like, I want to work, like, you need to be professional. But Hart's a very interesting character. And so Ethan Hawke plays him so well. And the reason, like, he's so, like, it felt like I was watching a play. Like, it's literally feels like you're just watching one shot of him just talking. And he's so amazing. He also is, like, weirdly short in the movie. I don't know if he was just, like, hunched down, but I was like, he's gotta, like, I don't know if, like, Hart was short.
You know what? Most of the movie, I was like, who is he reminding me of? And he was reminding me of Martin Short in Only Murders.
Really? Yeah. It's
like he did this one movement with his hand that I was like, oh, it was such a Martin Short movement. But also Ethan Hawke. Yeah. Ethan Hawke is like good at like those monologues because like you think about like the Before Sunrise series and that sort of thing. Like he is good at holding his own in a long stretch of like not text but like conversation.
Yeah, it was a lot of monologue, but it was I really enjoyed it. It was, for me, like a musical lover, like I appreciated it. I really didn't know the story behind Hart, and it's like it's actually very tragic, but it was just kind of like it was just interesting. It sort of starts/ends kind of tragically, but it was just a really interesting story.
How did you feel about Margaret Qualley in it?
I actually really liked her in it.
Really? She was my least favorite part. I really wasn't like...
Well, yeah, I would say that too, because I just think all the actors in it are better than her, but I didn't think she was bad.
I thought she, like, I like her in, like, I saw her in The Maid, I saw her obviously in The Substance, like, I really like her in that stuff, and in this, it just, I don't know, something about her performance rang flat to me.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like, I was like,
she was fine. Like, I don't know if it's not a character where it's like, oh, it should have been somebody else. Like, I don't know. I didn't think her performance stood out. Like, I thought, like, Ethan Hawke obviously just really stands out, like, the most.
Yeah.
And Andrew Scott was good, too.
Oh, but also, great American accent. One of the few, like, that comes across the pond and does a good American accent.
Who?
Andrew Scott.
Oh, yeah, he does, too.
Yeah.
You know, I have
it's the Irish.
I was going to say, I have a theory that Irish people are really good at American accents.
Yeah, whereas British, it always comes across as tinny.
You always say that. Yeah, so I really liked it. I felt like I was watching a play, and I'm a big fan of plays.
Yeah.
So
here's what I'll say. I didn't dislike it. I was quite bored throughout most of it.
I will say, like, I felt like a movie for me. Like, it felt like a Molly movie.
Yeah.
But I wasn't, like, thinking, like, when you were like, oh, where can I rent it? I was like, or you were asking where can I watch it? I was like, when we rent it. Like, I wasn't, like, overly recommending it to you, you know?
I just thought, like, Wicked Witch, flip it around, Molly movie.
Flip it around.
And they kept talking about Oklahoma. The only thing I could think of is the Euphoria scene where they're like, should I read Oklahoma? And they're like, I don't think it's, like, something that you read. I think it's, like, a play.
I love Oklahoma, like the actual play, not Lexi's version.
Oh, okay.
I love the musical. And so I was like I just love Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So
I usually like these kinds of things because I like these kind of old Hollywood where it's like, oh, they're like a little bit washed up now type of thing. But I will say, like, there's a scene, he just does so much talking, and like he's talking to this guy in the bathroom, and the guy just like leaves, and I was like, that would be me. However, him just talking and rambling on, I was like, this is me and Poe all day.
So I will say, and I'm not saying this about you, but he was very insufferable.
Yeah.
Which was interesting. But you also, like, felt something for him at the same time.
Yeah.
And I think that's, again, just a testament to Ethan Hawke's acting. But
he wasn't a bad person. He was just maybe an annoying one.
He was, totally. Yeah. But his Ethan Hawke's performance was amazing. So I just walked away from it being like, I kind of think he should win the Oscar for this. I don't think he will.
Yeah.
But
I mean, he's a fantastic actor. I mean,
he's amazing.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, I just want to, we're not like going to talk about this today, but I was just going to mention, speaking of Ethan Hawke, my Hawke got married this weekend.
Which confused me because people kept saying it was a surprise wedding. I was like, well, all those people were in town for it.
No, I think like people, like no one knew, like the public didn't know.
Okay.
But everybody was like, did they get married outside on the streets? Like what? Because it was just like a bunch of photos of them. But I think it was just them walking like after the wedding or whatever photos. But what's interesting, I was talking to Matthew about this last night because I was like, how do you feel about people getting married on Valentine's Day?
Yeah.
I think it's kind of fucked up. I'm not gonna lie. No offense to anyone who's getting married on Valentine's Day, but
why like fucked up? Like
because now you're ruining other people's Valentine's Days. What? They're gonna spend it at your wedding. Like they have other plans. And also,
well, you're a big Valentine's Day person though.
I it's my favorite holiday.
Yeah.
But it's not just that. I just think it's like, well, that's a weird day. And also, it's like, okay, make your love another day. So now your anniversary is going to always be on Valentine's Day?
I think about that a lot, too. Someone was telling me recently, like, they got married and both them and their husband's wedding or their birthdays are in the same month. It was, like, a nurse I had. And I was like, why wouldn't you do a different time?
Yeah.
And I also just like holiday weddings in general. Like we're getting married Memorial Day weekend, but I will say it's
a lot of people do that. That's not crazy.
It's not Memorial Day. Yeah. But like to do like Valentine's Day, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Is always just kind of odd. Or to do like also like we're getting married and like I'm like you got to space out your stuff. Like the stuff that you can control. It's like I didn't want to get married around like Christmas or Thanksgiving. And Chris and I are summer babies. So I'm like, okay, this will give us some time.
Well, they got married and she looked really beautiful and the whole Stranger Things cast was there.
Yeah.
But like.
They were, yeah.
Yeah. But I will say they all looked very cold. They were in New York City in February.
And you could see those piles of dirty ice behind them. Poor New Yorkers. Shout out. Good luck to y'all.
Yeah.
But hopefully she has a happy, beautiful marriage. There was,
I just thought it was a little, I'm not a big fan of doing it on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Like, come on now.
And there was a picture, it was like Uma Thurman, her mom, and Ethan Hawke behind her. There was like she was in the
really
middle. It was just a casual photo, like a street photo, but it was just like framed so perfectly between her two parents who just looked very happy for her.
I know. It makes me really happy. She also has like a million sisters.
Really?
They were all wearing like flower crowns. It's very Little Women.
Oh, I love that. Oh, because she was in Little Women.
She was.
Did she play Jo?
She did play Jo, and I was telling Matthew about it when I was talking to him about the Valentine's Day thing. He was like, who is Maya Hawke? And I was like, she's Ethan Hawke's daughter. And then I was like, oh, she's in the Little Women adaptation that you randomly love.
Yeah.
You remember?
Oh,
you know how he like loves that?
I still need to watch it. That's funny.
He loves it. I'm like, can you please watch the Greta Gerwig version? He's like, no.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? It's better though.
But so our last Oscar movie, I don't have like a whole lot to say about it. It's not like, it was a good movie, The Secret Agent. It stars Wagner Moura. Correct me if I'm saying this wrong. You guys know I'm not great at that. And basically it takes place in like 1970s Brazil, and it's like, I will say the cinematography in this movie is really beautiful, and it's very interesting because I think there were things that went over my head probably because I don't know about like the Brazilian socio-political climate of the era, but it does like kind of put, like you get the idea. Yeah. So like the first scene, he drives up to a gas station and there's just a dead body on the ground, and the guy is like, no, like please, like you can buy gas here, like I called the police to come get this body, they can't get it till Sunday. Like that kind of thing is going on, and he's just like, weird, but okay. Like that's just like, it's not like it's normal. It's not normal, but it's not normal. You know what I mean? Where it's just like, and the whole like carnival is happening, and you see these headlines of like, like 99 people predicted to like die during carnival or whatever. And so it's kind of like about like police corruption, this like kind of chaotic energy, but also I think there were parts of it that's confusing to me because it's like his character, you don't know, he's on the run from something or someone, and you don't know for a while why. And so it goes kind of back and forth because then it's like this group of, it's not the police, it's like a secret group of people are like doing an interview with him, and they're trying to get him out of the country like for his own safety. And so he's doing like these interviews, and then it cuts to the present day of these like archivists who are transcribing the interviews and kind of like discussing it and that sort of thing. And you find out like kind of why he's being targeted. But there's like a lot of beautiful scenes between like him, and he has this little son who's like living with his grandparents while he's in hiding, and he also has to like live in this safe house, and you kind of hear a little bit of like the people's stories from there, and it's like people from all over who are like hiding from various like areas of corruption, or like, he's like, at one point he's like, I've got a kill on me, or like a hit on me basically, and everyone in the room is kind of like, yeah, we do too. And I think it's just like, it's interesting because it goes into like kind of this like socioeconomic like class of people, where you find out like he's been a professor at this college, and this guy like doesn't like the work that he's doing. So, and this part like really confused me. So if anyone knows, let me know. But that's basically like how he ends up having to go into hiding, and like his wife dies, which isn't like a spoiler. It happens in like the first, like you know that in the first part. But there's also like, it's an interesting film in that there's also this thing where a leg has been swallowed by a shark, and they have to cut it open and like get rid of the leg, and they show in the newspapers, they're like, the hairy leg, like, because then the police steal it because it's like from someone that they've murdered, so they steal the leg and it's disappeared, and then it gets reported that the hairy leg is like gotten up and like is walking around, and then people start submitting all these reports where they're like, I've seen the hairy leg, like the hairy leg came in like at midnight, beat me up or whatever. And it's so like, and it literally is a like shot for shot of scene of a fake hairy leg like walking around town beating people up, and it's so strange. But it kind of fits in the movie. So I think that it's like it's a beautiful movie. I think it's saying a lot that I think maybe went over my head personally. I do think it's a long movie. It feels very long.
Yeah. That, because we did almost watch that on Friday, and then I think we saw the time, and it was just like didn't fit into our schedule. Yeah. So we were like, oh, that's a lot longer than we thought.
And you think like based on the trailer, you almost think it's going to be like this kind of action film, like a
That's what I
cat
thought.
and mouse type of thing.
Yeah.
And there are parts of it, but that's not really what it is. Like, I don't know what you would like kind of peg it as. It's hard to describe. Like, it's not a slow film, but it's not very like, it's not as fast paced as you would think based on the descriptions.
Or the name.
Yeah, exactly. The name was like interesting to me as well. I should have looked up like why it was named that. Like they reference it's based on like a French movie that his son is watching in the movie called The Secret Agent.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know like why that's the title of it.
So did you feel like his acting was like Oscar worthy?
Oh yeah, for sure. He
I
really
like
crushed
him.
it. Yeah, that was a fantastic.
I do want to watch it.
Yeah.
I really like him too, and I'm glad he's getting like, you know, the Oscar recognition. But the other day he was like kind of speaking out about journalists and, you know, with the whole Washington Post layoff. Layoffs,
yeah.
He was just talking about how like, you know, we shouldn't be like basically silencing journalists and getting rid of journalists.
Yeah.
And so I really like him as a person and as an actor.
too.
So
I'm excited to see like what other kind of projects he does, and
Yeah.
again like the way that like the shots of just like it's like 1970s Brazil, it's like beautifully done, and it's like it feels very real, very like accurate, and it's like I'm like I can see why this is up for Best Picture.
yeah. Did you ever watch Narcos?
No, he's in that though, isn't
Yeah.
he? Yeah.
Pablo Escobar.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I'll definitely give it a watch. I do still want to watch it.
Yeah, but I mean, we'll see how the competition goes. Tune back in after March 15th.
There are some really good movies this year. I'm very excited to see what happens because I actually really don't know like what to expect right now.
Me too, because I feel like a lot of the categories are really stacked.
Yeah.
Like every single, like most of them I watch it and I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Like,
Even Best Picture, I'll be honest, I don't think I know what will win. Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
We'll see. Yeah.
But kind of in a little bit darker news, this isn't really pop culture related. It's not, I don't know, but I felt like we needed to talk about it. However, I'm not even sure what we're going to talk about with this, but you probably know by now that Savannah Guthrie's mother, Nancy Guthrie, was kidnapped on February 1st. And Savannah Guthrie, Today Show host. It's so weird because it is now February 16th and there is still no leading theories. And so it's kind of getting like, it's just getting so confusing now. I don't know if you've really been following it.
No, because I'll be honest. So when it first happened on February 1st, I like caught part of a news story and I thought they were just talking about like an older woman with dementia who had gotten
That's
lost.
what everyone thought at first. So she was kidnapped from her home. And I think at first when it was like, oh, she's missing, everyone sort of was like, oh, well, it's her mother. She must have like dementia. And everyone was like, no, she was sound mind. She was very sharp. She was definitely kidnapped. There's like her, like a purse and everything is still in there. Like, and she was supposed to meet a friend. Well, it was first reported that she was supposed to like go to church that morning and she didn't show up for church. And so her church like that's when they realized like something was wrong. It was kind of misreported. I think she was supposed to go to a friend's house and watch church like she did every Sunday.
Okay. I was going to say, I was like, wow, that
I know.
church is
I was
on
thinking
it.
that too because I was like, wow, they're really
Miss one Sunday, missing
yeah. But if you're going to a friend's house,
Yeah.
they're obviously going to realize. And but the interesting thing is, so Nancy Guthrie has a sister, and so this all takes place in Arizona. So obviously Nancy Guthrie is in New York, but she had to fly out to Arizona, and she's been there. She had to miss the Italy, like the Winter Olympics in Italy, where she was supposed to report from. So she's been in Arizona, I think, this whole time. And her sister and her Savannah's sister and her brother-in-law, so the sister and her husband, were the last people to see her. So they were she had gone out to dinner with them the night before, I believe, and they brought her back to her house.
Okay.
She lives alone. And so they were the last people to see her. So I think there's a lot of theories. I've heard a lot of theories that it's like, this is alleged, but a lot of theories that people think like the brother-in-law did it or, kidnapped her.
yeah.
But I mean, there's just really, I don't personally believe that one. But the weird thing is, so there's been a few like ransom notes,
Yeah.
but it's like, it's just so strange to me. And I think I don't know another way to say this. And I don't mean how it's going to come out, but I'm sort of almost getting like, and I feel like a lot of people are feeling this way where it's just like, it just feels so confusing and just like, okay, what's going on, that it's like I think people are kind of starting to lose interest a little bit, just because like, not in a, which sounds awful because this woman is missing, but it's like, I mean, the police chief just said she could be missing for years. Like, they can't seem to get an answer. Like, it's so strange because they're getting ransom notes. They've gotten, I think, 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And
I think they also, I saw, had like door cam footage of a masked
person.
Yeah,
they finally, but at first they didn't have it. It was very strange. Like, the whole thing has just been handled very weirdly and reported on and so there was like door ring, like finally they were able to, because it was deleted. So someone went in and deleted it. But then they were able to get it back. And now you can see like a masked figure, which is super scary.
Yeah.
Breaking in. Some people think it looks like a girl. But then some people thought it looked like this one person who they
always with the sleuths.
No, the internet sleuths are so, and that's the other thing with it too, is like I can't bring myself to get too into it because I can't with all the internet sleuths. It's like I almost feel like they're doing more work than like anyone else, and so that's frustrating to me too.
But then I think about what was it, the Idaho murders, where it's like they were like kind of.
Or the Gabby Petito one.
Yeah, where it was like they were like not sabotaging, but they were like derailing parts of the investigation because it's just like, well,
there's so much misinformation too.
Right. And like I wonder if it's one of those things, maybe the police are purposely being like, we don't know, but they kind of
That's what I thought. But then so Nancy Guthrie, Savannah Guthrie has been releasing these videos with her sister and brother, and they're kind of, I mean, they're just how a video like that would look, and I'm sure she's using specific wording that she's being told to use, you know, by the like FBI or by the kidnappers and the letters, but she's like talking to and she's like, please bring our mom back, and like that was the first video, and then in another video, it was very eerie, she was like, we've got your letter. Like, we understand what you're saying. Please return our mom so we can celebrate with her. And so I think a lot of people, I took that as like, okay, she's dead and you're asking for the body back so you can celebrate her life. You know, that's how it sounded. But then she turned around and said, we still think our mom is out there. So it's just like super confusing. I don't understand how something hasn't come to an agreement yet. If she has the money, like, I mean, clear, like, I just don't understand what's happening. And it's also very strange because there's also the TMZ has this like, it's like weirdly involved, and so TMZ's involvement with it is super weird. They're like literally, CNN has been interviewing Harvey, what's his face from TMZ, and as he seems to be, because I think TMZ is getting the letters.
What?
It's like super weird. And he's like and he'll be talking, he'll be like, I can't talk about that, or I can't say that yet. Like, it's like super weird.
Yeah.
And so the whole thing, I'm curious what other people think, because I feel like it's just getting so, like, I don't want to say convoluted. I mean, this woman is missing. It's so scary and sad. But just the whole thing is very weird.
Yeah, it almost feels like we're, like, losing the plot a little bit. Like,
exactly.
Okay, now TMZ is getting interviewed, and, like...
every day. They're on CNN. He's on CNN. And also, they put up a white tent, which usually means, like to the entrance of the house, which usually means they found blood and they're, like, whatever. Yeah. But nothing. They haven't found anything. There was another video today by Nancy Guthrie, or I think she posted it yesterday, but she basically
Savannah Guthrie?
Sorry, Savannah. But she said her family still has hope for their mother's return, and she said it's never too late to do the right thing. She said that to the kidnapper. So it's just like, it's so strange. And then there's this other element to it with all the, you know, with the Jeffrey Epstein files, that she was actually the first person to interview all of his, to interview his victims. Some of his victims. Really? But so if people think that there's like that to it, I don't think so. But it's very weird. So that's what I mean though, where it's like there's so much misinformation.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's going to happen, but Nancy Guthrie's medication, like she has daily medication she's supposed to be taking. And so there is a theory that it's like, maybe she died and the kidnappers were put in a weird position and now they're, I don't know. I don't really know what to say about it other than just like all that information that we have. But I mean, there's so much more to it, but it's getting just so, like you said, I feel like we're losing the plot a little bit, like, which I'm sure they feel the same way. But...
And sometimes it makes me sad how the public loses interest in things.
I know,
so
like,
fast,
I hate to say that.
She's still missing, but it's like, oh, well, this is old. Like, the news, like, we used to work as journalists, and, like, the news cycle sometimes floored me because it's like, like something becomes old news so fast because people's attention span, and it
unless it's like new stuff is coming out, but it feels like there's just like, it's just weird to me how they haven't figured it out yet. I guess that's how I feel, that it's like we're on day 16 and like we still haven't figured it out.
Yeah.
Like, if you're getting notes and letters, what are they saying?
And also I'm like, okay, there's a Ring doorbell, like just with all the surveillance we have in our communities in general, like, did a neighbor have a Ring doorbell? Did we have cameras on the, like, stop signs? Did they drive past any businesses who had cameras?
I know.
Like,
it's so strange that they don't have any other leads yet. Like, that's, the whole thing is so weird to me.
Yeah, very interesting. But I guess hopefully we'll get updated. Hopefully she's returned safe.
I do sound. Really genuinely hope, obviously, that there is good news that comes from this.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah. But... So I think we wanted to talk about a movie we also both saw with your mom. Shout out Cindy. Send Help.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I actually, like, it had hit my periphery, and you asked if I wanted to see it, and I'll be honest, I had also been getting over a cold, so I was like, I'll go see Anaconda right now. Like, I don't care. And I had no idea what to expect going into this film.
Yeah, so what happened was Cindy, shout out my mom, wanted to see it, and I was like, no, I really am not interested. I really have to listen to my gut. My gut always knows when I don't want to see something, I'm always usually right.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, like, she wanted to see it, and then you said, like, I'll see anything. I'll see Send Help. And I was like, oh, my mom wants to see, like, or I said that she wants to see it, and you were like, oh, I'll see it. Like, I want to leave this house.
I hadn't left in over 7 days, so I was like,
yeah. And then
and also I enjoy you guys' company.
Oh,
you know.
Well, of course, yeah. I love, like, you know, we love going to see a movie on Tuesdays, and so this was like kind of the only thing. And so we went, and friend of the pod, Megan, came. And I think we all sort of walked away from it being like, how did this get, or at least maybe you liked it a little bit more. I don't understand how it's getting such good reviews. I truly do not.
I think us going into it not knowing what to expect was the hindrance. I think if you go into it knowing that it is like a humorous adventure story type of thing.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe then you're like, okay, like that hit the mark. But I think like we all went in kind of being like, okay, like this is like supposed to be kind of like a psychological, like they're trapped on an island type of thing. And I think, like, the humor maybe... Like, again, I think it's one of those movies that we should have maybe been prepped for. You know what I mean? Like, if we knew more of what to expect.
Whereas, like, with Dracula, I kind of loved going in not really knowing anything. But I think I do agree that sometimes it's like, if we had known what tonally this movie was, maybe it would have been different. But I also knew I didn't want to see it. Like, I knew it was going to be like an action comedy thriller. I think I did know that, and I still was just like, ugh.
I think there was, so to give a little like backstory, it stars Dylan O'Brien and Rachel McAdams, and they work at this company together. Dylan O'Brien's like the vice president, he's taken over for his dad, and Rachel McAdams or he's the president. Rachel McAdams thinks she's going to get promoted to vice president. She'd been promised it.
She's kind of this wallflower. She's very awkward, socially awkward. No one likes her.
Yeah.
He's like pompous, hot, like.
Yeah. And he's just like, nope, like you're not getting promoted. Yeah. And then she gets like, he's like, but we're going on this trip to, I think it was Japan or something. And he's like, you're the only one who can like do the spreadsheet. I actually don't really know what her job was, but anyways, so like you can come with us. So she goes on to this flight with like Dylan O'Brien is like 3 closest douchey buddies that also work at the company, and they are like, they make fun of her. They somehow find her like Survivor.
She's a big fan of Survivor, which is very important to this story.
Survivor audition tape, and are like laughing at her and making fun of her, and what do you know, just so happens the plane goes down. And this would be a spoiler if you were like us and didn't know what this movie was going to be. Like, I didn't know they were going to end up on an island.
Oh, you did?
No, like I was like
see the cover of the movie.
No, I didn't know anything.
I did at least know they were stuck on an island.
In it. So,
okay.
yeah.
Oh, that's a huge surprise for you then, dang.
Like, the whole time I was like, whoa.
I didn't expect the plane crash part, which obviously how else would they? But, like, the plane crash scene to me was just, like, really corny. I didn't like it.
That was the scene I liked the best. I was, out of all of it, I was like, okay, this is good. But it also, like, it was, I don't know. It was okay. There were it was unrealistic in certain ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so then, like, they end up on this island. Rachel McAdams' character, wouldn't you know, has all these survivor skills. more so than anything you'd ever think of.
Yeah.
And so she has to basically help Dylan O'Brien's character, and it's one of these things where it's like he has to realize like, oh, she's a person too, and like maybe whatever. And
well, because their roles have shifted now, because he's the powerful one on the outside world, but now that they're on this island, she is like, okay, you need to basically
like listen to me because you're gonna die if you don't.
Yeah.
And so we won't get any spoilers to how it like plays out, but I think like what got me is I just don't like a lot of gory humor. So there's like one scene where she's like trying to kill a boar, and it's like it just keeps going on and on where she's just like "Dah!" and like the boar's not dying, and she's like "Dah!" and I was like, okay, interesting. And then there's like one scene where it's like doesn't she vomit into his mouth or something?
Yes, yeah.
That I was like, that's disgusting. I also like these. I love these two actors, and I didn't think it was like their best. And I think it was because they were playing caricatures of the character.
But what I'm seeing, it amazes me that it's getting such good reviews, and a lot of people are like, Oscar for Rachel McAdams this year, and I'm like, or next year, and I'm like, no, what are you talking about? Okay, here's the thing. And actually, I actually liked Dylan O'Brien's acting more than hers. I think I really like Rachel McAdams a lot. She's actually one of those actors who I often forget about, weirdly. Yeah. And I think it's just because she plays kind of different roles and everything she's in. I realize I'm like, I do not associate her with Regina George at all. Like, it's so weird to me that that's the same person.
You know what is, so I was listening to this interview with Dylan O'Brien, and he said, because they were like, what's it like working with Rachel McAdams? And he was like, it's so funny because, so obviously in this movie, he plays like a really awful guy. And he was like, we're sitting there talking, and Rachel's like, you know, I had to play a bully once, and like, it was really hard. It was like this movie, like this girl had just come to school, and like I had to be really mean to her, and you have to go home and kind of like disassociate and like really separate yourself. And Dylan was like, are you talking about Mean Girls? And she was like,
she's so good in that movie though.
She is. But she was like, yeah, like, have you seen it? And and the thing is, any other person I would be like, oh, she's like playing you. But I'm like, I think that's like genuinely, she's like,
she seems really
have you heard of this movie called The Notebook? You know, like,
That's the thing is, I don't think about her that. I feel like I don't think I've ever seen her in an interview before.
Yeah.
Like, I really don't know that much about her. I just have I love The Notebook. I love Mean Girls, but I just don't, like, I don't think about her that much.
She does have I think she's a fantastic actress. I think she's been trying to do more comedy lately. So what I've seen her in recently is like that one with Will Ferrell, the Eurovision, which we did
she was good in that.
Yes, I liked that.
Yeah.
And then she was in Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. Excuse me.
Oh,
Me,
really?
Margaret. Yeah, and I thought she was good in that. I actually never got to finish the last 30 minutes of that movie because I watched it on a plane. But anyways.
She's in that one that you love. Like, what's the one with Diane Keaton?
Oh, yeah. That was, like, from a while ago. She was fantastic. She's in a lot of movies that I love, but I think, like, her comedic chops in this weren't really cutting it for me.
I think it's because we just didn't think it was funny.
Yeah.
Too. But I will say, so it's interesting. So it was directed by Sam Raimi. I think he did the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
But he did the Doctor Strange movies too.
Oh.
And she's in that. And he said he put her in this because he realized that she wasn't really used to her, like he felt like he didn't actually use her to her full potential in, like, I guess the second Doctor Strange. And so that's why he wanted like her to be in this movie. And I mean, I just think it was like a kind of a weird pairing, like with the two of them. It was just kind of random. Like she felt, maybe that's kind of, okay, here's what I'm going to say about this movie without spoiling it. It's sort of like a modern version of Misery.
Yeah.
And so I guess like it kind of does make sense that she, cause like, maybe it's a little bit like, it was kind of a weird pairing, but I guess it kind of makes sense. Mm-hmm. But here, the thing about it is like, it's definitely like a summer, like it felt like a summer movie. I'm surprised it came out now, but it's like, if you come into it like an entertaining movie, it's kind of a classic, just like movie, like purely entertainment. I can see that.
Yeah. Like I'll be honest, I had no idea where it was going to go at any point.
Yeah. I
didn't even know they got in a plane crash. So,
well, yeah, you were very surprised.
Yeah.
I'm just really surprised by the 93% on Rotten Tomatoes.
93?
Yes. Yeah, and I was looking it up after, so I was like, are we the only ones who kind of think this? And I didn't see one single bad review. on Reddit. Like, everyone loves this movie.
I don't trust Rotten Tomatoes anymore.
But it's not just Rotten Tomatoes. It's like every review is like so good. And I'm like, are we talking about the same movie?
Maybe we just needed like a different perspective going in. I don't know.
I wonder if we came
I think it's
into
just
it
also
with just
not
a highbrow.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. But it just wasn't. It just wasn't our thing.
Yeah, it just wasn't our humor. And that's okay. But you know what was my humor?
Oh, is that a comedy?
It's like a romantic comedy. It's like both like
yeah, okay.
Okay, so the movie I want to talk about is Eternity. I watched this on Valentine's Day. It's on, I think, HBO, and it stars Elizabeth Olsen, Miles Teller, and Callum Turner. And
I love me some Callum Turner.
And also Divine Joy Randolph is in it.
She's
good. And John Early. He is fantastic I want to see more of him. He's so funny as an actor.
John Early. I'm trying to think who that is. He looks familiar.
I think you probably would have only
I never watched
seen
Search
him.
Party, but I saw that it's on either HBO or...
I think you would like it. It's
Really?
very funny.
Is it? It doesn't look like a comedy to me.
It is. It's a like dark comedy.
Okay.
Like, or not dark. It's not dark comedy like Succession. It's like, I don't know. It's funny.
I think I've only
it's
seen
one of my
this
favorite
like
shows.
one like scene from it where it's like she's getting her head shaved and she looks like really miserable in the photo that it kind of almost looks like something else is happening. So it just is like very, I've always saw it as like very dark.
It has like 4 seasons, and it definitely the last season I think goes to a really unexpected place. But it's dark, but it's funny.
Yeah.
It's like very, anyways. But anyway, so he's in Eternity.
Yeah.
And this is such a unique, and of course this is an A24 film with a unique premise. So basically, what it is it's like the afterlife. And you come to the afterlife and you're in this like kind of almost like hotel motel holding area where you get to decide like where you want to spend eternity. So they have all these quote unquote worlds. You can spend eternity in beach world. You could spend eternity in golf world. But the key is you can't leave your eternity once you've chosen it. But you only have like a week to decide.
Oh, this is like TikToks I watch where it's like choose your liminal space or whatever.
Oh, I love those. And I get stressed out over them. Why? I don't know.
Oh, you know what I love? Side note is like choose where you're going to go during like a zombie apocalypse. And it's just like door number 1. And it's like you have to go through a million doors and then you get into this like really nice space. And you have to choose between 4.
I haven't seen that one. But anyways, so you have like a week to decide, which is crazy, where you want to spend eternity. And you have these afterlife coordinators who are Divine Joy Randolph and John. And you basically like, if you don't decide within a week, then you have to like basically work at like this little waiting area or whatever, right? Until like you have to like make money. You're not going to be in this nice hotel room for eternity. Yeah. So basically what happens is you see this old couple in the beginning and they're like kind of bickering about where they want to go on vacation or whatever, and they're like at their family like house, and then they're like at a gender reveal party, and the guy, like the old man, like eats a pretzel and he chokes and he dies.
Oh my god.
So he wakes up in this like afterlife place and he gets like the rundown, right? But he's like, oh, but like he knows his wife has cancer. So he's like, they're like in their 90s or something. So he's like, she's not gonna be long. So I just want to I'm gonna wait for her and we'll get to decide where we want to spend eternity together, which is very sweet, right? So she does die like a week later, which is crazy. It's Elizabeth Olsen's character. And she's like, oh my God, so good to see you, crazy. And then you turn around and it's John Early is like, I think there's someone else you want to see. And he like literally turns her head because he's the afterlife coordinator. And who is it but Callum Turner, who was her first husband, who died in the Korean War and has been waiting for her for 67 years in this like afterlife limbo. And you can see the moment like she looks at him and he looks at her and you're just like,
oh no, this is like really, you know what it reminds me of is your life, like your question of like, you talk about the apocalypse, like, or not apocalypse, but like when like a comet's gonna hit Earth, where you have to decide like who you're gonna spend your last evening with, because you're like, okay, do I spend it with like my husband, but then I also would want to spend it with my parents, but then he wants to spend it with his parents, but then his family wants to spend it with their family. Like
This is one of those movies where
That's so stressful.
I remember being a teenager and thinking like, oh, your husband dies and you get remarried. Who do you spend your eternity? Like, who do you spend your afterlife with?
This is like a very good question.
Yeah.
So is Miles Teller her like the
second husband? Yeah.
Okay.
Which he's like, I like to say current husband. But
I'm gonna say Callum Turner.
you think that, but they have had 67 years together. So they've built a whole life, and there's these really sweet moments that you can just see, like, the comfortability of having spent, like, raised children, spent life together, slept together in a bed. There's, like, this moment where, you know, you each have your own hotel room, and they're having, like, this kind of argument where he's like, okay, like, where are we going to choose? And she's like, you don't understand, like, my other husband is here, too. Like, this is a big decision. He's like, okay, let's not fight about it. We'll talk about it in the morning. She's like, okay. And she turns around, and he's, like, making up the bed to, like, get ready for bed. Because he's like, yeah, like, I'm going to sleep next to my wife. Like, that's what I've done for the past 67 years. Why would I think any differently? And I think it does it so well. You don't know who she's going to choose, and I'm not going to spoil it. But when I'm
stressed.
It's so good. When she's with Callum Turner, you're just like, oh my God, like, this is such a, like, he's waited 67 years for her. And, like, and he was like, she didn't think she was going to recover when he died. Like, you know, it's been this whole thing, like this passionate love. But then when she's with Miles Teller, you're like, this is such a beautiful, like, you've shared a whole life together. You have you have children, you have like all of these memories. There's moments where you're like, this is someone who really knows you that you can only get from having spent like 67 years together. And also you can tell, like, both of these men genuinely love her, but it's almost like a difference between passionate, romantic, and, like, companionate love.
Yeah.
And deciding between the two. And
Did they ever consider a threesome at any point in the movie?
She's like, what if we all went to the same eternity? And
why can't they?
Both husbands are like, no.
Why?
She's like, that sounds perfect. And again, John Early and Divine Joy Randolph are like the afterlife coordinators. Mm-hmm. And so they are almost like the assistants of this place. So they're like, this is the most interesting thing to happen in centuries. And they provide so much comic relief, but also all three of the characters, like, it's just so well done.
Is it sad at all?
Not like overtly. I think it's almost like there's bittersweet moments because there's like times where they're like they're dead, so they're reflecting on their life and stuff, and like their children that they have. I will say though,
like sad. It's like Beetlejuice sad.
Sure, yeah.
It's kind of reminding me of Beetlejuice.
Yeah, I could see that a little bit.
Okay, you're making me kind of want to watch it.
I think like because
I want to know what happens.
I'm not gonna tell you. Unless you like.
Did you like the ending?
Yes, but I didn't like. It wasn't. I literally didn't know like where it was gonna go. I didn't know what I wanted. Like again, each time I'm just kind of like him. Like you literally feel like fair. Elizabeth Olsen.
Yeah.
I will say there is this weird underlying plot though that never gets like you think it will be, but then you're like, I guess it's not that kind of movie. Mm-hmm. Where again, once you pick an eternity, you can't leave. Yeah. And you see, like, there's people randomly busting through these eternity doors being like, I can't take any more beach. It's too much beach. Because if you think about it, it's, like, too much of a good thing. You're going to be at the beach for eternity.
Yeah, but it's too much of a good thing, but it's not like it's like, oh, you can never go there sometimes, you know?
Yeah, you can't, like, so also, like, once she chooses which guy, like, she's going to go to eternity with, not only do you have to pick an eternity that you both like, but we'll never see that person again.
So
that other person.
That's so sad. Why can't he pick that eternity? Like, okay, if like she chooses one guy and they're like, let's go to the beach. Why can't he also choose the beach?
Because he doesn't want to spend eternity with his wife's new husband.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like that sounds like an eternity in hell.
Yeah, maybe.
And
but then couldn't she just split it up or something? That must be what she does.
No, I mean, like, well, it's this whole thing where it's like, if you leave your eternity and you get caught, then you get put into the void, which is just blackness for eternity.
Oh!
Yeah.
Well, wait, okay, they can't just go to this. So you're only in eternity with one person? You don't see anyone else ever?
No, there's other people there.
Okay, so I'm saying why doesn't he go to the beach one too?
Because he doesn't want to spend eternity in a
Just
threesome.
live in a house by yourself. She could just go back and forth.
Like, that sounds great to us because we're picturing us as the women. But, like, imagine if, like,
But
you're
at least
in the...
he gets to be with her sometimes. He has to understand she got remarried. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm
think,
getting
like,
frustrated.
It's like, it's such a good, like, and it's very, it's
No,
funny. But
I don't
it's,
like this. I'm getting upset.
Such a unique premise of literally, I'm not kidding. It's like, oh, you took an anxiety thought out
Yes.
of my head and
This sounds like
plopped it
a
into
nightmare.
a movie.
I don't know. I want to watch it, but also I'm stressed.
I think you would like it, even though
Really?
you don't usually like romance type of things. I enjoyed it.
I love Callum Turner though.
Oh, he's so good, and they talk in this movie the whole time. They're just like, he's so handsome. He's so like,
and Miles Teller is too. I've never been a huge Miles Teller fan.
yeah. I like him. I've only seen him in The Gorge.
Which is like a terrible movie, right?
That's another one where it's like people loved it, and I was like, are we sure? And then there was like a couple of other things I've seen him in, but I really liked him in this. What I think they all do really well is playing an old person in a young person's body, which is hard to do, where they don't seem crotchety, but they seem very of the times that like they came from, like the 60s or whatever, which is very interesting. I highly recommend it. You've got to watch it to find out. I wish it had gotten like more promotion because it was phenomenal.
Yeah, I feel like I heard about it a little bit, but for some reason I just was not like, maybe because I felt like it was a romance. I'm usually not a huge like romance fan.
Yeah, I think I give it a try.
Or rom-com. I guess it's a rom-com.
Yeah, it's definitely like it's not like funny, but it's funny. There's funny moments,
I just need to know how it ends, so I'm stressed, and so I think I'll watch it.
Do not
What?
go and look it up on Wikipedia. Molly, I will be so mad at you. Please don't.
I might do it tonight.
Molly, no.
Okay, fine.
I'll actually cry. Please just watch
Alexa,
it.
you're gonna cry?
Because the journey is worth it.
Okay. Aw.
It's good.
Okay.
It's very good. Okay, so this is maybe old news to some of you, but new news to us.
We haven't gotten to talk about it
yet. And we're big White Lotus fans. That was I feel like that was like a SpongeBob sound.
It's one of my favorite like composers like for a series. It's so good. Anyway.
But we've gotten a full cast.
Is it the full cast?
Well, we've gotten like the main cast, I think.
It's a little disappointing, I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
It's not.
There's probably going to be more like
overwhelm me
side characters and stuff, but
yeah.
I think this is like going to be the main shebang.
Yeah. Okay.
So they are already announced in December that Alexander Ludwig and AJ
Mishaka. So that was exciting to me. Yeah. AJ Mishaka of Ali and AJ.
Yeah.
Who they were my first concert ever. I was so excited when I heard that because I was like, that's so random. And then I was like, is she even an actor? And then I thought back. I'm like, wait a minute. Cowbells, My Super Sweet 16, the movie.
Yeah.
Those were all my favorite movies as a kid. I
don't know. The Future?
Wait. Ali.
That's Ali.
Excuse me.
Sorry. Okay. I used to think they were so beautiful too, but
they are.
I mean, they still are, but like, as a kid,
that's what I meant. They were, but I'm excited to see how she is. It's so random.
It is very random, but there's like a few random people on here. I don't really
know Alexander Ludwig. Like, what's he from? Is he from? I almost want to say he's from the what are those like dystopian movies?
He looks like Alexander Skarsgård.
He totally does. He looks like a Swedish.
Oh, wait, I think he's from.
Looks like he's from Vikings. Scroll down. Let's just look.
Yeah, he is from Vikings.
And the Hunger Games. That's what he's from.
Yeah, that's
I said just. Okay, for anyone who's listening, I'm not like I wasn't forgetting the name of Hunger Games. I was saying like, it was what are the ones with Shailene Woodley? What were those movies called?
Divergent.
I thought he was from Divergent.
Yeah.
So he's from Vikings. He's very high.
He is. Okay, so then we have him. We have Helena Bonham Carter. Helena or Helena? Helena.
Helena, I think.
Helena Bonham Carter. If you don't know who she is, I can't help you out. Which feels like it feels like the biggest one.
That like might be the biggest one they've like ever had.
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of
like that was a shock.
Yeah. It's I could kind of see it, but it's like a little random.
Yeah, it is. It'll be interesting. She's gonna play, I think, just like like a quirky whatever. But so the next person is Caleb. It's either Jaunt or
I don't know who
Jaunty
this is,
Edwards. He's kind of an unknown, which they always do a few of those every season, you know.
Yeah.
He's been in a couple things, Black Snow, The Man and the Woman. I don't know what this is. I've never heard of that. So this will probably be a big break for him. Shout out Caleb. Good luck to you.
I didn't even know that.
Marissa Long. Okay, also her first role too. And there's also, which like good for her. Oh no, I know she's a model. She's like an Instagram model. I mean, and a real one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because this is her first like acting role, really.
Yeah,
I did remember reading about her. Sandra Bernhard, who you would recognize. She was in Marty Supreme.
In Severance too.
Oh yeah, and
she's one I'd be like, you know, there's certain actors, and you're about to name another person, but there's certain actors you're like, they're a White Lotus actor.
Yeah,
she's one who I'd be like, yeah, I could see her on the White Lotus.
Yeah. And then the last one is Chris Messina.
Oh, Chris Messina is also a White Lotus actor, but I thought that I really do like him a lot.
Yes. Oh, I love him. Oh, yes. I'm very excited.
He'll be really good.
He was in the Mindy Project.
He's been in so many things. I heard Steve Coogan is in it too.
Oh yeah. Did I not say him already?
I don't think so. He is also one where I'd be like, that's a White Lotus actor.
Yeah, I could see that for sure. And so I think what's interesting is, so this year it's going to take place in France and Saint Tropez. What's interesting is like Mike White was like, oh, I kind of want to get away from like the crashing waves or whatever. And so I think Saint Tropez is like near the water, but I think it's going to be more of like a French countryside.
Yeah, I need something that's not like, I agree with him. Like, get us away from like the tropical, like, I don't know, beachy vibes.
I'm curious what they do with the intro too, like the intro music.
It'll just be like, what's a French like
an accordion? Yeah, an accordion. Yeah, some baguettes on screen.
I was gonna say too, but it's weird when he said like, get me away from like he was like we need to get away from like the crashing waves or whatever, but he also doesn't apparently like cold weather. I think we talked about last year. So I was kind of hoping for a different vibe all around.
You know what will give it a different vibe? It's not taking place at a Four Seasons. It is taking place at, bear with me. It's a hotel called Chateau de la Messardière. I'm going to say. Okay, beautiful. Ooh, in that the voice, nice. So I think it's interesting. The backstory of this, it was built in the 19th century as a wedding gift from a cognac dealer to his daughter, and she transformed it into a hotel in the early 20th century.
Do you think the first episode is going to be called Be Our Guest?
I would love that. I was like a gift I was like a wedding gift. Yeah. Okay, I'll take a chateau.
Yeah, what?
Yeah.
I'm curious what the like, usually in most seasons, particularly in the first and third season, it's kind of like there's commentary about, I guess the second season too, commentary about like class and just kind of they go into like the history of where they are and how it like relates to, like, I'm curious how they would do that in France, like how the fourth season would do
notorious colonizers, France. True, yeah. They also have a lot of immigration from like different African populations for like refugees and stuff like that I think has caused some class discourse.
And so the only casts they've really named are probably going to be the guests. Yeah. Because we're not seeing a lot of diversity in that cast. Right.
And I think there's probably going to be, I think France is really interesting because you don't think of like, they've colonized this area or whatever, but French are so ingrained in like French culture. They're one of the only countries that has like a whole society to maintain the French language. Yeah. Or like the integrity of it, which I think is very interesting. And I think you're probably going to see like parts of that come into play. And again, I think you're going to see like France's, again, it's interesting because a lot of the places he has done it in the past are port city cultures. Yeah. So you get a lot of that like diversity of both the culture that's there and the cultures that are coming in. And I think people like forget that France is like that too, because it is like a big coastal, I was going to say town, but country, a provincial provincial town.
Provincial town.
Yeah. And so maybe you'll get some of that. I don't know. And it might be, maybe it's one of those things. Also, I could see some commentary of like people like feeling like they can be comfortable in their wealth, but they're not really.
Yeah.
You know, because they're just like, well, I'm surrounded by me and my people, so I can just say some weird shit. And then it's like, well, maybe you shouldn't.
I think we'll get a lot of that.
Yeah. But I'm excited. We'll be watching.
Do you
and you'll
think
be hearing from us.
What's his face will return?
Which one?
Oh,
the bald one?
yeah, what's his name?
I
I mean, I don't think so, but I'm just joking.
no, but
everyone
or someone returns each season, so
they do, but I wonder if that would happen again this season.
I feel like it has to. Like, it's
know.
happened every season.
Yeah, but it happened every season, but it was always connected to
something.
Like, it was always connected to Jennifer Coolidge's character. That's why I don't think that would happen again this season.
I don't know.
So
Who would you like to see return? Armand,
Oh my God, yeah. Oh, duh. He can't.
Yeah.
I think about that character once a week, so I would have loved that, but R.I.P. I would love for like, what?
Go ahead. I would like one of the Italian girls.
Oh yeah, they were good.
Do a hop, skip, and a jump over to Saint Tropez.
I liked how the manager from the second season was in the opening ceremony of the Olympics.
Oh really? Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't notice that. Good for her.
She's Italian.
Yeah. But anyways, I think that's all we have for you guys this week. Thanks for joining us. As always, please like, rate, review, and subscribe. Pray for Molly's sweet little voice. Hope that it comes back. Although, once again, sounds kind of hot. I want you to sing me a bar of Smelly Cat after this.
Ew. I can't sing right now, so no. And I also hate that word, so.
Smelly?
Please stop.
It was on your dad's mixtape for you.
Well, whatever. I don't like it now.
Anyways, we hope you guys come back next week. Please share with your friends, share with the guests at your hotel, and share us in your hearts.
Thank you.
Bye.